Are y'all done? Hey everybody, it's Stephen from the Acadiana Repertory Theatre again. We are here on the set, at the beginnings of the set of Carol, A Broken Chain. I'm here at Scrooge's desk for this third edition of Tales from the Script. We have a special surprise for you with this edition of Tales from the Script. We're going to hear from our playwright, Ben Jolivet, who has adapted Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol into Carol, A Broken Chain. We commissioned Ben to do this just a few months ago, and I asked him to record a video about what the process has been like, how he came up with this version of the story, and what it's been like to work with a theater that's half a country away. So we're going to hear from him right now. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Jolivet.
Hi folks, my name is Ben Jolivet and I'm the author of Carol, A Broken Chain, and I've been asked to talk a little bit about the process of adapting the play and what it was like, and I thought I might share with you at the same time. This is my first copy of A Christmas Carol that I got when I was a kid, and you probably can't see it, but if you look close enough, you'll see the name of my 5th grade teacher in the upper corner here, because that's the person from whom I stole this book. So, my first experience with A Christmas Carol was a theft, which seems somehow appropriate. But ever since I stole that book, I've always been really fascinated by the story, and adapting it is something I've always wanted to do. And it's really something you only get to do as a playwright if someone asks you to, because I can't think of another story that's been adapted so many times in so many different ways. And so to write your own version of it, you know it's never going to get produced because there's so many others to choose from. So to be asked was really exciting for me because it's a story I really love. And that made adapting it really easy. And even though it's sort of, it takes a slightly different path in some ways than the book does, I think that it really honors the book. I don't know if that's a pretentious thing to say, but there are, and I've always felt this way, there are a lot of lines you can draw between the world that Dickens was writing about, in the mid-1800s, and the world that we live in now. The way that Scrooge talks about poor people and homeless people in the early chapter of the book is, in many ways, identical to the ways that people on TV have, in some cases, talked about the poor. So there's that line that you can draw, and that was initially my way in, but the book also goes into a lot of things that we struggle with now. How do we take care of our families when we don't have a lot of money? Even to a degree, who gets to be a family? And one of the most central things, and one of the least talked about parts of the book, which is just how do we move on from our difficult pasts and our hard childhoods and lost loves, etc. So it was really exciting to be asked by Stephen and Acadiana Repertory Theatre to adapt this play, even though we probably couldn't be farther apart and be in the same country geographically. Well, I guess I could be up in northern Maine, but we're pretty far apart. And so even though I won't get to see the play, it's exciting to have been asked to adapt this, because as a playwright, when you sit down to write a play, the first thing you're thinking about is, I hope at some point someone's going to want to do this. And when you're commissioned, it's thrilling because you know it's going to be performed. And you can't ask for more than that as a playwright, even if you don't end up getting to see the play live. And Stephen and company have done a great job of keeping me in the loop, and I love videos like this, where so far I've gotten to see the cast, and this is everyone's first time to meet me, I guess. And the cast looks great, and they all seem really suited to their characters. And the characters in A Christmas Carol are some of the most indelible. I mean, the lines that they speak have been with us. They're probably as quotable as Shakespeare. And the characters were really fun to adapt. My favorite character in Dickens' book actually is probably one of the smaller ones. It's Scrooge's nephew. And that character is one of my favorites in the adaptation that I wrote. And it's actually one of two characters that I switched the gender of. I flip-flopped the gender of two characters. So Scrooge's nephew from the book is actually his niece, and I think it actually made it a slightly better role for a stage play, especially because there's this really interesting relationship between Scrooge and his sister that is a little darker in this version than it is in the book. And it tugs at Scrooge a little bit more that his niece, his only living relative, could be his sister. You know, she looks just like her. So that was an interesting adaptation, was the flip-flopping of that character. And my other favorite character is really three. It's the Cratchit family. I sort of love how they came out, and I'm really excited by that. And all of those characters, I think, are going to be really entertaining. And I guess that's the thing that I would hope people walk away from this play with, is being entertained. That they have a story that they know and that they're comfortable with, but that there's some surprises, and that they see that story in a new way. And as a playwright, you're an entertainer, I think, first and foremost. So I hope you're entertained. But if I could wish for something loftier than that, I think I'd like for folks to leave the play with maybe a renewed sense of empathy. I think if we look around the world, certainly around this country, empathy is something that we struggle with. And I think that's really a central theme in Dickens' novel, is this idea of seeing other people in more than a one-dimensional way. And I hope that this version of Dickens' story does that in a new way for modern people. And so if folks were to leave this play, and even if just for a moment thought, oh, you know, there's that person that I don't like, or whose choices I disagree with, or whose politics are different than mine, or, you know, whatever, and I think I get them a little bit more now, or at least I'm willing to try. I think that would be a big deal for me as a writer. And it's something I could stand to do more of too. But anyway, that's my story, and a little bit about how Carol, A Broken Chain came to be on my end. And I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope everyone's having fun rehearsing it, and I hope the audiences are moved and touched, and they laugh by it, as people have been with the book for a long time. So thanks for listening to me ramble for a little while, and have a great holiday.
So that was our playwright Ben. We thank him for participating in this edition of Tales from the Script, and we hope hearing from Ben got you even more excited about Carol, A Broken Chain. So we have something else that's going to be a lot of fun to talk to you about. We want to get you, our audience, involved with us, and we want to give you a chance to win free tickets to Carol, A Broken Chain. And here's what you have to do. We all know that there are some ugly sweaters that come out of people's closets around Christmas time, and we want to give you a chance to show off the ugliest. So in the next couple weeks, as you visit our Facebook page, as you visit our website, we need you to post pictures of your ugliest Christmas sweater. For example, like the one our assistant director, Acadiana has on right now. Special. So go ahead, take a picture of yourself in your ugliest Christmas sweater and post it to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Acadiana Rep. The ugliest sweater gets 2 free tickets to see Carol, A Broken Chain at the Acadiana Center for the Arts, December 20th through 22nd. Speaking of social media, don't forget to visit us at www.acadianarep.org. You can see all about Carol, A Broken Chain. You can also see a lot more about the Acadiana Repertory Theatre, including what we have coming up for next season. You can also find us on Twitter at Acadiana Rep. And you can find links to purchase tickets from our website and Facebook, or you can visit www.acadianacenterforthearts.com. I look forward to bringing you another episode of Tales from the Script next week, and we look forward to seeing you at the ACA at the end of December. Thanks, have a great week.